Okay, hello, good people. This is a video for Taurus season. Today, the sun just went into Taurus and it is at the very first degree, which is the 0 degree. Since there are 30 degrees to every sign, once it leaves, meaning that it just left the previous sign, where it was in Aries at 30 degrees and then crossed over into the sign Taurus. So it is at 0 degrees. And then tomorrow it'll be at 1 degree, because the way the sun moves is that it progresses by 1 degree per day. So when the sun goes into the sign Taurus, this is the time of year where things can go more relaxed. It's the second month of the year, and it's like the second hour of the day, or really in the second 2 hours of the day, right? First, in Aries season, Aries is like the first hour of the day. It's the first sign. It's when you get up in the morning and you start getting your day started. And then by the next 2 hours, you're kind of settling in, maybe just arriving to work and you picked up something to eat on your way to work, or you're having breakfast at home with your family, or you're kind of relaxing because you did the main things that you do as part of your daily routine when you wake up. You got up, you got dressed, you brush your teeth, wash your face, put breakfast on, got the children up, all these kind of things, you know. Well, that is just the time of the year when the sun goes into Taurus, right? And we call that Taurus season. So this Taurus season, so for the next 30 days, while the sun is in Taurus, we also have Venus, which is the planet that actually governs that sign, is there too in Taurus. So Venus is in Taurus along with Mercury in Taurus, and they're all pretty much at the first degrees of the sign. So they're close together and they're interacting with one another. So this is going to be a lovely Taurus season considering that, right? And what I want to say is that, see, a person could be born when the sun is in Taurus, yes? And that would make them what we call a Taurus. However, what's important for you to know is that we all have Taurus in some part of our chart, because I've said it many times, we are all 12 of the signs, and they apply in the different 12 areas of our lives, right? So you could have your moon in the sign Taurus, or you could have multiple planets in the sign Taurus, like Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury. You could have multiple planets there, but your sun is in a different sign. So say you were born in October, just for example, but at that time the moon was in Taurus and Saturn and Mercury were all together in Taurus. So you would have a Taurus personality as well. You would have an emphasis in the sign Taurus, or in that area of life. You would behave like a Taurus. You would understand Tauruses. You would have a lot of qualities of Taurus. But what more is that, like, since we are all Taurus in some part of our life, that means that we all can relate to this energy. It just depends where it is, which area of your life. And again, you might have a planet there. So just because you're not a Taurus sun sign, you could still have a very dominant aspect of your life in that sign, and you would need to know your chart to understand these things, right? And this is something that I do. I am your astrology muse. I forgot to let you know. My name is Yakini Heri, and you can call me Deviya or Devi Yakini Heri, and I am your astrology muse. And this is just kind of like a weather report for right now, and I also want to talk about the full moon that's coming up in 1 week on the 27th, where the moon is going to be in Scorpio on that day, and the sun is going to be in Taurus with Venus and Mercury there. But I want to continue with what I was saying, that based on knowing your own chart, you would know which area of your life the Taurus energy shows up and where you become a Taurus. And so, considering that, the fact that the sun is moving into the sign Taurus, it's moving into a different sign in our own chart for everybody, into a different area of the life, and that affects all of us. And it's the sun, it's the brightest light in the heavens that you see in the daytime, at least here from planet Earth. And it brings energy to that area of life for all of us. The sun, because it being such a bright light, and because what it's saying is that it's in a certain constellation in the heavens, reflecting on the earth and sending its light in a certain way, that for us here in the northern hemisphere, this is like the start of spring, even though it's really cold here in Chicago still, but we're definitely in the second month of spring. We have flowers growing outside and everything. Even me, I planted some things on the last new moon, the Aries new moon, and that was just a week ago, and my plants are springing up already. I planted sunflowers, they're springing up. I planted bee pollen, that's springing up. I planted, there's another one that I saw springing up that I planted, but I know I also planted lettuce and carrots. Oh, radish. The radish is springing up just a week later. So that's so amazing, right? To actually get to be one with the process. I planted the seeds myself. I'm nurturing them and I'm watching them grow. So Taurus has to do with that. It has to do with the practical nurturing aspect of life. It's like Cancer in the sense that it wants security, but it's more so in the practical, in the material aspect of life, not so much emotional per se. Taurus is, so the sun is reflecting onto the earth in that way, that it's providing a lot of light. Everything is growing. We're going into the summer soon, so we're in the second month of the spring, and life is just a little more relaxed. This is a time, since Taurus is the energy that has to do with value, like what we value, our sense of how we can increase value in our lives, increase our assets. And it's the sign that rules the face and the throat, and it is most connected with the earth. It's an earth sign. So Taurus is very much like the cow and the bull. If you look to nature and you want to see how you can learn about the Taurus energy through nature, look to cows and bulls and how they are, their mannerisms. This is a sign that is very much connected to the earth, as I said, and it likes to enjoy the stability and the comforts that the earth provides. So Taurus is a sign that likes to take it easy and just enjoy the comforts of life. So they will enjoy good food. It would be connected with people who even grow food, like farmers, or people who work in money, like who deal with banking and um, anything that could be connected with food as well, like running a grocery store, um, things that have even cooking in some sense. All the things that allow us to feel comfortable and stable in our life. Taurus likes those kind of good things. And when the sun is in that sign in particular, it's saying that this is an area where you really show up. Taurus show up and shine because the sun is connected to our creativity, our inner light, our natural authority, and our leadership. So when the sun is in Taurus, it's given us an opportunity to really stabilize some things in that area of our life wherever Taurus applies. Taurus applies for me, for example, in the 10th area of my chart, the 10th house, which has to do with reputation and career, right? So the sun coming into my 10th house gives me energy to put focus and attention and to really shine in my career. And this 1 month of focus in that area can really help to stabilize things or advance things in a way that makes the rest of the year go easy for me, just in that area. And that applies for everybody else. If it's in your home life, if it's on your rising sign, your ascendant, or your 12th house, your 6th house, wherever it is, that's the area where you can bring your energy and your light to put focus on that area of your life. So it's Taurus season for everybody, not just for Taurus, right? But that is marking the time of their solar return, meaning their birthday. So they become 1 year older based on the travels of the sun, which is how we count birthdays, based on the sun, the movement and the rotation of the sun. Taurus, when the sun come in Taurus, and the sun being that it's connected to the Father, it is a time where, or a person who has sun in Taurus would be very connected to the values of their father and their father's line. And it will show that their father and their father's family had strong values, very consistent values, and more than likely it had to do with the things that are connected to Taurus. Like I said, could be banking, could be farming, could be providing conveniences to people in all kind of ways, even like people who own car dealerships. You can even connect that to that, or anything that just really brings stability and comfort and pleasure from the material things of life. Shine. Anyone who shines in that area, it could play out in a lot of different ways, right? So you can't just say, oh, Taurus is going to be a banker or going to be a farmer. It plays out in different ways. And again, it also depends on which house Taurus is in your chart. So I'm just sharing a whole lot about Taurus so you all can really understand and connect with the essence of this energy and see how it shows up in your life, to give you more understanding about how astrology actually applies, and so that you will know that wherever the sun is, wherever all the planets are, they reflect their energy to this physical plane called Earth and affect and impact us in different ways. So, what else did I want to say about Taurus? Taurus people can be very stable. They don't like to change. They're very consistent. So it's important that Taurus learn good values, because they're not going to be easily shaken, and especially again from the values of their father and their father's line. And then again, that is just for the sun sign. I have 2 children with moon in Taurus. So they get their values from me. And that's, it shows up in their emotional life, right? And we can talk about what Taurus moons behave like. But I'm not going to go into that right now. We, can take it easy and relax this month and just enjoy the pleasures. It's going to be a beautiful month because Venus, the ruling planet, is there. Mercury is there, so we'll be talking a lot, talking about money, talking about the things that bring us comfort into life, and we'll have a very kind of stable way of talking, a pleasing way of talking this month. We want to enjoy pleasures, but take it easy. Taurus, I'll say this about Taurus. If Taurus have to work hard, especially when it's the sun, they will be the example of how to bring light to the Taurus energy. And they'll go ahead and work hard if they have to, and if that's what's needed for them to have the comfort and the stability that they want to have in that certain area of their life. But Taurus would like to work smart and not hard, because they want to also be able to relax and enjoy the things, right? Enjoy going out to restaurants or eating really good food at home. Enjoy relaxing and being in their car or whatever like that, just enjoying even like the money that they saved in their bank account, because Taurus, of any sign, wants to have money on hand because it allows them to feel comfortable and stable in life. If anything happens, they're going to save money. Okay, that would be some of the values that would be passed down to the Taurus sun sign from their father. That if you don't own land, you don't own farms and food that you're already growing yourself, then you better have money in the bank saved, so then whenever you need something, if anything happens, you have money, so nothing can, shake your stability and your comfort, right? So that's why Taurus is connected with money and nice things and that stability, and they can be considered stubborn because they're not easily going to change their values, right? You can't make Taurus change their values. And if you keep pushing a Taurus and aggravate a Taurus, then they'll go off on you like a bull. Like, shake you off, like how those bulls, when they gallop, get off of me. Like, it'll go off. Like, don't play with me. Okay? So I think that's all I want to say right now about Taurus and what Taurus season is like. And that will be all for this monthly forecast, unless there was something that I said I would speak on. I said I would speak on the full moon. So the full moon is going to be here in just about 7 days on the 27th. And like I said, the moon will then be in Scorpio, a full moon at 7 degrees Scorpio. And it's going to be opposite the planets in Taurus, which is the sun. Even Uranus is in Taurus. So Tauruses are behaving differently right now with Uranus there, shaking things up. And Uranus is going to be there for like 5-6 more years. But so Uranus is there. the sun is there, Venus and Mercury, 4 planets in Taurus. So there's a real emphasis for us on our comfort, our money, our stability. It's going to be a lot of focus on that this month. And then the full moon comes, and it's going to oppose that. As usual, the sun has to oppose the moon for it to be a full moon. So, Scorpio being the opposite, it's more focused on the spiritual aspect of life, right? And dealing with the transformation and the things that come suddenly, from hidden things that pop up suddenly that affect us. You can't get Taurus to get too interested in those kind of things. They're like, hey, is it going to put money in my bank account or food on the table? Well, if that's not what it's doing, then don't try to get me to wrap my mind around that stuff. It's not practical, okay? Taurus is like that, whereas this Scorpio, it's dealing with the emotional things, the deepest of emotional things, the things that we hide, maybe even the things that we suppress. It deals with our power, life and death, our psychic senses, and it's very opposite of Taurus. But this opposition allows to balance those energies in our life and to release certain things that we might be holding on to, things that we might think make us so comfortable, but they don't. It gives us an opportunity to make a change in that area. Hang on. I hope my speaker was on. So this full moon a full moon marks that half of the month has passed, because 2 weeks prior would have been the new moon, so the start of the month, according to the lunar cycle, right? Because I'm talking about the sun going into Taurus, and that is based on a on solar charts, and putting the sun as the ruler of the year, if you will. So I'm talking about both, and they don't always align like that. Like the new month that starts based on the moon is not going to be the same as the new month that starts based on the sun, right? But if you're going by the moon, when the moon is in the opposite sign of the sun, then that marks that half the month based on the moon has gone by, right? Based on the solar chart, because today is the day that the sun goes into the sign, and we had a new moon, and that was in Aries a week ago. You see? So it's behind. The new moon in Taurus is going to come later. Oh boy, I don't want to confuse you right now with that talk, but we will have an opportunity to talk more about that aspect of it, okay? That aspect of astrology. So for now, I just want to say enjoy your Taurus season. Happy Taurus season. Enjoy this season. I'm going to definitely take advantage of it. And things are definitely already flowing in that direction. So you'll be able to go to my website, and you'll be able to see a lot of things in the store that you can purchase. You'll be able to see how you can receive my astrology services and all of that. I'm going to get a lot of that done this month, right? And I need to show my face a lot in my career, because my career area is Taurus, And as you know, not only am I an astrologer, but I'll show you. This is something I'm working on right now, a beaded design that's going to be a collar that goes like this, and this is actually the second layer of the collar. The first layer is right here. I'll pick it up so you can see it. This is the first layer, and the other netted layer is going to go under that layer that I just showed you, and I have to make more layers. It's going to be like a really wide collar. So me being a Taurus, in my 10th house, in my area of career, public standing, reputation, I am very much connected with Taurus in that area of my life, because my work is something that pleases the senses, right? I said Taurus have to do with our senses, our 5 physical senses: the taste, the touch, the hearing, the seeing, the smelling. So me making beaded art is something that pleases the eyes and it pleases the senses. So Taurus can go into things like that is art related, but you also would look at where the sign Venus is in your chart to see how it's going to play out for you. Like, just say again, for example, my 10th house is Taurus and Venus is in the sign Cancer in the 12th house. So it's taking my love for stability and comfort in my career, and it's taking it into the spiritual realm of things, right? It's still like it's in Cancer, so I'm working from home, and my work is spiritual. My bead work is spiritual. And this is something that is very consistent and stable for me because I've been doing it for over 10 years, right? So you see how Taurus shows up for each person in that area of their life. I don't have sun or moon or anything in Taurus, but it's my 10th house. So I still have a sense, like everybody, I still have values. I have my own sense of what is valuable, and having a career, I value that. Yeah, I value having public standing and having something consistent that I am known for. So that's it. Okay, I know I said I'm gonna stop 1,000 times. There's always so much more that we can say about each sign, and it's an endless topic, right? So that's it for now today. Thank you. Talk to you all soon. Bye bye.